Morning, Guy.
Morning, Will.
Where's the top one, Guy?
I put it away in there. I put everything else in there. You squish it down, and this huge thing becomes... And that is very cool.
Is it lighter than a tent?
Yeah, it's just one nylon sheet. You don't have all the poles, and it's much easier to put up. We're at the bridge over the River Teifi in Llandewi, Brevi. The place is St David, and also famously, more recently known as the place of Little Britain. And I'm the gay in the village.
The only gay! So this is the holy hill that St David, when he was preaching against Pelagianism, stood here and no one could hear him because there were so many people, and the hill rose up in some miraculous hill rising, and he could speak to everyone and say Pelagianism was wrong. And that's this.
What's Pelagianism?
Pelagianism was a famous heresy from a British monk who said that good deeds alone are enough to get you into heaven, and the church said no, they're not. You need God on your side. Good deeds don't actually count for toffee. And it was a bit of a kerfuffle because it suddenly meant that good deeds were somewhat cut out of the whole story, and obviously they really are quite central, in my opinion anyway. You've got to be nice to each other. Jesus was a nice dude.
So we've just had our hobbit's breakfast at the local pub and come to the holy hill where the church is of Llandewi, Brevi. But it's shut. Prince Charles is coming here on Friday, so they've sealed it off. Getting ready for Prince Charles's visit on Friday.
What can you see?
Vestry door, a couple of coat hangers, and a bell rope.
Holy, holy, holy. And this, in fact, is the only part of the church that remains open, even with Prince Charles' visit. Let's sing a song in here, guy.
Whoso beset him round with dismal stories do but themselves confound. His strength the more is, no lion can him fright. He'll win a giant fight, but he will have the right to be a pilgrim.
And by dad I felt like going through the keyhole in the door. Sometimes the closest you can get is the outside wall. It's a bit like Cinderella for shepherds. Guy and Will, we don't go to the ball tonight.
This is the house of St David's well. The well is in the cellar, but is inaccessible to the public.
What are you doing?
I'm filtering the river Teifi. This is the way to travel in England and Wales, in Britain. Scotland, drink it from the wild sources.
And here amongst the rushes and the hills by the river is Meadow Sweet. Oi. it smells incredible. It makes the sweetest tea that removes your headaches, just like that. Meadow sweet. This is Ffynnon Wen, the White Well, or Cybi Sant Well, the Well of Saint Cybi.
We gathered white stone, white quartz from the path, and this is the White Well, so we thought that was quite appropriate. So I'm going to place mine
This side.
this side. Water flows, life is given, rises from earth, falls from heaven. Water flowing, so we sing, to bless the Holy Spring.
May the water that we drink be so strong and so good. May the water that we drink be so fine. May the water that we drink really help us think and feel that we're perfectly in time. May the water that we drink be so good and so strong. May the water that we drink be so great. May the water that we drink keep us perfectly straight and narrow on the good old way. So as you can see, it's incredibly easy to take this water, pass it through a filter, and be confident that what you drink will be absolutely safe and palatable. I believe the word is potable, which means drinkable without any harm. This little tool here is called the First Need XLE filter. It's American made, and it filters all bacteria and all viruses. It's very lightweight. It's not totally cheap, but it's £100, and wherever you are, you will have drinking water, which is rather nice.
And this is holy drinking water. So we've just had a pie by the well, and just like I leave in my family satsumas and mince pies for Santa Claus at the bottom of the chimney, and his little folk, and the reindeer. I'm going to give something similar. Nice pie there, and some satsuma.
So it took us quite a long time to get here, and it was well out of the way of our journey. But that's the circular notion of the snail of pilgrimage. You go out of your way to reach the sacred centre. And it's not about the straight path, the direct route. It's not about getting there quickly. It's about going to the good places. And this was one of them, St. Cybi's Well. Wow. Pretty cool footpath, huh? It's beautiful. Lampeter is Wales' smallest university, so we're expecting a good, fun, multicultural, studenty buzz to the place.
That any normal experience that you have more profoundly than usual is in fact a religious, well, or spiritual, an intense experience.
For example, what?
So, for example, immediately something came back to me from my youth. We'd gone on a family holiday, in fact to this area, West Wales. And I'd been allowed to walk, I must have been quite young because it was a sort of a treat. I'd been allowed to walk along the beach alone. And to my amazement, I found just up a little bit higher an old stone church, and the graveyard was full of wild flowers, and it was glowing. It was really glowing. So I rushed back to the caravan, got my whole family to come back and see this. And when I went back, it was just a church with an overgrown cemetery. So clearly something was moving me at that time. In a society that we claim is less religious than it was, people who have no religion are still having these spiritual experiences. So even if they haven't recognised formal religion, nature, God, something is still speaking to them.
Oes Gareto, oes hebyd dro, ar y creigiau gewyn mae, Llanafwn Ceredo.
I don't know the words.
Gafal wen, ie fin wen, fioed y fwnden, goel y fwn wen, wrth wen af hwn ffon, wen. This is the house of Anne Watkins, where we just spent a lovely hour and a bit. So good to meet her, so good for her to just call out, "Are you pilgrims?" Great time. Thanks, Anne. The High Street of Lampeter. We've just left Lampeter and now we're heading towards the river.
We've come to Llanhunnen Church to see what we can find here. We'd hoped for some accommodation, but... So we're in Llanybyther. We've walked further today than we should have done, and we're feeling a little bit proud, a little bit tired. And here's the river, Teifi, and we're going to go sleep in a church. It's all well. Good night.